Hey guys, it's Xanthe again, and yes, I have my blanket, and it is magenta thanks to Kitty Cat for telling me that, so thank you very much because I just couldn't think of the color at that moment. So yeah, anyway, today I'm going to be talking about the differences between being homeschooled and being in public school or just in school in general, because I was homeschooled until grade 7 actually, and it's really, really different. I mean, a lot of you would assume it's different. So, the first thing that I would say is different is that everyone is so concerned about how they look, how they are seen by other people, if they're good in school, if they're going to be bullied, if they're popular, or all of these things. And when you're homeschooled, like in New Zealand, I used to live there, we would have study groups and they would be like all these homeschooled kids, and my mom would be like the teacher, so to say, and we wouldn't care about all that stuff. I mean, I was younger, so it could have been that, but everyone just was so carefree and just had a good time. We learned way differently. Like, we learned by doing, not writing down all these things. We learned by kinesthetic and all these kind of things, and it was really fun. And then another thing that changed is in grade 7 when I first went into school, I was so good at presentations. I got like 100%, and like I was so good. And then I started to feel peer pressure, and I didn't feel that before because everyone was carefree and they didn't care and they were just having a good time learning together. And once I felt the peer pressure, I was kind of confused because I was like, why are all these people like judging me? Like, everyone has to be doing all these things. Like, it shouldn't be that big of a deal to do these presentations in front of the class, but apparently it is. And I was like, I just started to get in and feel the peer pressure from everyone else. And yes, there were bullies and all this stuff, but it was mostly the peer pressure, even by friends, from friends. Like, I don't know, I've just changed a lot. And now I'm in grade 11, like I said in my last video, and it's really different because I do act a certain way in school. I don't act like I would have in grade 7. So maybe I'm more concerned about if I say the wrong thing or if I dress weirdly or anything. But it's just really different. But I have met so many nice people, like amazing people in my life that I wouldn't have met otherwise. So I really like the part about school where you meet people and all this stuff. Um, yeah. And the classroom environment is really different because with homeschooling, you're learning because you want to learn. I mean, this might not be the case for everyone, of course, but for me, it was because I wanted to learn, and we did more math and science, and we did reading a little bit later. And so it was more enjoyable than going down, writing down with your pencil and paper, trying to listen to this lecture while writing down all these things, and you don't understand it. You're asking the person beside you, like, oh, what did they just say? And they're like, I don't know. And you, all these different, like, there's exams, and there's, like, different projects that are due, and you'll fail, and all this stuff. It's way more stressful than it should have to be. Because really, if you look at the big picture, if you fail one class or if you fail a grade, it's really not the end of the world. Like, yes, you'll get bullied or you'll feel out of place, but doesn't everyone already feel kind of out of place in high school? I mean, yes, you can act like, oh, cool and everything in your groups and like, oh, yeah, I get that and everything. But I don't know anyone, like, everyone that I've talked to have said, just like me, like, even though we have friends and even though we have groups and standards and all these different things that we follow and we are like, yeah, we're a part of a group, we fit in, I don't think anybody really feels like they fit in. If they do, then that's good, I guess. Yeah, good for them. But it's just a really confusing time for a person in their teenage years, and you're just like trying to figure yourself out while trying to communicate with other people and do all these things, and it's really confusing. And I didn't know I was going to go into school when I was younger, but then once I did, I actually do like school. I love learning. I love making new friends, and I do actually enjoy the teachers in our school, but sometimes it just feels like really, really, really stressful, and it shouldn't, because we are capable of doing the work that's in the class. So why does it feel like it's so difficult? And it could be the way that the teacher's teaching it, or there could be the other people in the classes, which is why I really, really like being in a class that all of the students actually care. I mean, I've never been in a class where all of the students actually care, but most of the students, because then you actually learn and you actually are paying attention, like when I was homeschooled. Yeah, I don't know, I just kind of wanted to talk about that, because, like, why the heck not? And I kind of wanted also to talk about how adults say that they're like, oh yeah, I understand, I was a teenager at some point. It's like, were you really? Because you say that, but then you have no sympathy at all for us. But I feel like it's just so then they feel better about themselves. Like, oh yeah, I went through that, you can do it too. Like, it's no big deal. Or like, oh yeah, you're just overreacting. But the thing is that our school system is getting harder and harder and harder as years go on. And so it is getting harder, but it's just, adults are really, they are the people that stress us out most of the time. They stress teenagers out. They stress themselves out. I mean, teenagers also stress themselves out, obviously, because hormones and all these different things are changing, and you're really confused and stressed out about everything. But you can succeed in life even if you aren't an A student, even if you aren't a B student. If you are a C student, you can still achieve. If you are, I know F isn't a thing anymore really, but like if you are failing at school, it doesn't mean that you're going to fail at life, because every single person has an ability. It's just whether or not you choose to use that ability or seek out what that ability could be, because every single person is capable of at least one thing. You don't have to be good at school to be good at life. And I just wanted to bring that point out, because everyone is so stressed out about all these different things, and exams are next week, like I said in my last video. And yes, it is another procrastination video, except that I did just study math, so don't worry guys, I'm not gonna fail. But if I did fail, it wouldn't be the end of the world, because you can succeed without being super, super good at school. So thank you. That's all I wanted to say. I just felt like talking a little, because why the heck not? So make sure to like this video if you liked it. Why the heck not like it? Subscribe, because why not? And then comment anything that you want, really. We can start a discussion, or you can tell me other videos that you want me to make. So have a great day, and love you. Bye.